Make the ground shake.
What's up everyone, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at two of the new tanks due to come in 1.11, and they are the Churchill gun carriage, is it the gun carriage? Gun carrier, whatever, tier 6, the British tier 6 tank destroyer. It's the first one, the first normal one, and the second one is the M4A3E2, more commonly known as the Sherman Jumbo, and that's finally making its way into Blitz. So now you're probably going to be asking where these tanks are going to go, how are they going to fit into the tech tree. So I'm going to show you what they look like on the British and American tech trees, what they'll lead on to and where they lead off from. Okay, so having a look at the American tech tree, the Sherman Jumbo leads off from the M4. As you can see there, it's from the, you can just research the turret and then go straight to the Jumbo. And the Jumbo leads to the T29, you just have to get like the second best gun, I think. And it can also lead to the T20, so it's kind of the intersection. So it's kind of the tank where you can go to the T29 if you've changed your mind about going down the mediums or not. Or you could just continue to go down the medium line. So now we have the Churchill gun carriers up now, just discovered it's called, and it literally just leads off from the tier 5 heavy tank on the British line, the Churchill 1. I mean, there's not really much to it, it doesn't lead anywhere, this is kind of a dead end. I think at least for now, maybe it will lead off somewhere when the other British tank destroyers come, but for now, I guess it's just alone, and yeah. So now let's actually start previewing these tanks. So looking at the protection of the Jumbo, it's got 980 hit points, which is pretty standard at tier 6 for a medium tank. It's got 101mm of frontal hull armor, which is actually pretty good for a medium tank at this tier. 76 of the sides and 38 of the rear, and the turret armor is 76 at the front, 50 at the sides and rear. Let's just see how that looks in Armor Inspector. So here we have the Jumbo on Armor Inspector, and we can see that the armor, effective armor frontally on the lower front plate is around 200, and because usually the norm is with these American tanks that the lower front plate is probably the kind of the mediums like the this and the Jackson and stuff. The lower front plate seems to be more armored than the upper front plate. Upper front plate without an angle is 130mm effective armor, and if you angle it, it'll probably go up to like 150 by the looks of it right now. So that's honestly not bad considering most medium tanks at tier 6 have 120mm or 140. So just a bit of angling will stop most mediums, probably a few heavies as well, like the VK 3601H with that long 80, no, not the long 88, the short 88, which only has 132mm of penetration. So the armor is good, but it's not enough to stop tanks like the KV-1S's 122mm gun. As you'll see right now, it will literally just go almost clean through. It's only the lower front plate which will be able to contest the penetration, but no, that's just not happening. I mean, there we go. And also I forgot to say, the Jumbo sports 10 degrees of gun depression, which is absolutely insane, just like the Easy 8 does as well. And you're seeing that the KV-1S has absolutely no problem going through the Jumbo's upper front plate, or the turret either at all actually. Okay, so now let's move on to the firepower of the Sherman Jumbo, and it gets the same 76mm that the Easy 8 does, so it fires 10.49 rounds a minute. It's got 128mm of average penetration, 177 with premium, and the average damage is 160. The accuracy isn't great, I mean 0.4, that's not very good for a medium tank, but this is the same with the M4. I mean, the M4 doesn't have very good accuracy either, and the aim time is 2.3. Penetration isn't really great in my opinion. I mean, 128 isn't even enough to go through itself angled, the Jumbo. I mean, but the rate of fire is good. It will help you whittle down opponents quicker. You can keep them perma-tracked. and it's actually probably got pretty decent DPM. End up going up against something like an IS at tier 7, which you really shouldn't be doing frontally. Then you've always got the premium ammo, which has 177mm of penetration and is absolutely more than enough to be able to just go through the IS-3's front, and because you have the better rate of fire, you should be able to kill him before he fires, like, before he's able to kill you, because if you're both at full health. Finally, so moving on to the mobility of the Jumbo, it weighs 33 tons, it's got 520 horsepower engine, 35 km speed limit, 32 traverse speed, and 39 turret traverse. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to get a really good power to weight ratio, I don't think it'll be bad, but the speed limit is a bit slow, and considering, but the thing is, this is a pretty well armored medium, so that's to be expected, and the traverse speed actually isn't bad, 32, so yeah. Churchill gun carrier gets 850 hit points, which is pretty good for a TD. It's got 88mm of frontal armor, 63 at the sides and 50 at the rear. I'm not even going to bother showing that in Armor Inspector because that's just terrible. Basically anything that you face will go through you if you're playing this tank. Also, one thing that you want to know is that you're going to be a really big target, kind of, because you want to, if this tank is on a Churchill chassis, and that is a pretty long tank. I mean, it's as long as the SU-100Y and then just a box on top with a gun, so you are going to be a pretty big target, so don't be surprised if you get hit often. The thing I really hate about this tank is the limited gun arc. I mean, just look at it. I think that is probably the worst gun arc in the game. And I think the Object 268 has pretty terrible gun arc as well, which is what makes me dislike the tank quite a lot. That and its terrible gun depression. Let's move on to the gun, which is actually probably the best thing about this tank. So, the Churchill gun carrier gets a 32 pounder. I don't know what that equals to in millimeters, but it's got 214 penetration with AP and 246 with APCR, and that is absolutely insanely good. I mean, you've got, on PC, you've got a tank like, there's the AR-44, the tier 6 French heavy tank, which has 212 and it's 90mm, but this outclasses that. So it's got the best penetration at tier 6 right now in Blitz, and the premium, I mean, it's enough to go through IS-3 frontally if you just aim, and the premium, you'd have no problem at anything with tier 8 at all. The average damage is 250 with AP, 250 with APCR, and 330 with HE. The accuracy is 0.34, which isn't bad, and the aim time is 2.3, which also isn't bad. What you're getting here is basically a tank with it's a pretty bad tank, but with an amazing gun, and also 10 degrees of gun depression, which is absolutely insane as well. But the thing that, I don't like this tank because of the gun arc, how big the tank is, and as you're going to find out what the maneuverability is like. The Churchill gun carrier weighs 41 tons, which is quite a lot, and for that it gets 350 horsepower engine, which is absolutely awful. That's why I hate the tank. And the speed limit is 26 kilometers an hour, which is also pretty bad, and the traverse speed is 26, which is again also subpar. This is literally what kills the tank for me, that its size and just its gun arc are making me think that this is a bad tank, and I may be right. That's my opinion though, so you guys may like it, but I don't. That's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this preview of the Jumbo, the E2 Jumbo, and the Churchill gun carrier. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, thanks for watching, and bye.